Kenya. She should know. I think
You
she
would
was
think.
probably there. I think he has an aunt who was there at the birth, who
Yes.
never left Kenya.
Yeah,
in
that's
her
it.
life.
It was his aunt. Yes, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I think it was his
Yeah.
aunt. And there's been some discussion about his birth certificate, whether it's genuine.
Yes, it has no seal, it has no proper name, and no proper dating. Not signed. I mean, these are things that, you know, I'm required to go get a driver's license. You know, in Texas, you're required to have your Social Security number just to get a driver's license. This man's president.
And he also went to live in Indonesia with his mother when she remarried, changed his name, and became an Indonesian citizen, apparently.
Yes, he did.
Which means that he would then not be, he would have to be renaturalized to become an American citizen again, because you couldn't have dual nationality, apparently, with Indonesia. No, to be an Indonesian citizen, you had to reject your American citizenship.
Right.
And then that would mean that he could then not become an American president, because he could become naturalized American again, but that doesn't qualify you to become president. No. So there are two reasons why possibly he shouldn't be an American president. Am I right?
Absolutely.
We're going to play the video now. We can't play the video.
Okay, no, those aren't going to work.
No.
Well, hopefully the last one will work, because it's the most critical. But we basically covered everything that was in what we were going to show. And that is it, that he's not viable to be president according to the court cases, the Supreme Court cases that have been brought out against him. Now, I felt like this was what was intended. And so this was what I had predicted would happen. And then he was twice unconstitutionally viable, because when he took his oath at the inauguration, and he
got it wrong, didn't he? Well, was it the not the Solicitor General? There was some dignitary that said the words first,
right? And
then he copied the words, but the words that were said were wrong.
Exactly, and then he repeated them wrongly.
Yes.
Which he didn't have to do, because he knew it. He had practiced it. He didn't have to follow it wrong. He did just because.
So are you saying that he deliberately didn't take the oath?
Well, I would say that it seems that way, and yeah, because of what I'm predicting, it would follow my scheme exactly.
So not only are you saying, I mean, you are saying that not only is he not a valid American president because he's not an American citizen.
Right.
Or an American citizen under the wrong terms and conditions.
Yes.
But that he deliberately took the wrong oath. But then the next day, apparently, he took the oath again in the Oval Office.
Right.
But it wasn't filmed.
Right.
And the reason given for him taking the oath again, as I recall, was that he wanted to confound the conspiracy theorists.
Isn't that funny?
And yeah, they didn't film it.
Yeah.
So, did he confound the conspiracy theorists?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Now, the curious part was the quote that they brought out after he was done. Was the one thing he said was, well, yeah, I did it, but I forgot my Bible, but I don't think that really matters. So the oddity of bringing that to the public attention, they didn't need to tell us that, you know, but they did. And this, again, is once again into this World War III scheme.
Yeah, because the Bible he had was something special, wasn't it? The Bible that he had on the first occasion...
I don't recall.
It was like Lincoln's Bible.
That's right, that's right, I think it was.
Something like that. It was some very, you know, famous, important Bible.
Well, there are many symbolic events in this whole inauguration, and one being that there was a man, Albert Pike, who outlined all of the rituals of Freemasonry. He wrote the book Morals and Dogma. And in that, he's the one that identified Freemasonry as Kabbalism. He's the one, you know, you go read his book and you'll understand much of the symbolism.
I just want to interrupt there for a second. The Kabbalism thing, I mean, this is the red wristband, isn't it? A bit of string that people like Madonna
that is, yeah.
are wearing. It's like the kind of trendy religion for celebrities.
Well, it's an ancient Hebrew mysticism that has been passed down through generation after generation. So, yeah, it has become this pop icon. Now, Madonna is no longer Madonna. She is now Esther, who is also one of the ritual goddesses within the Eastern Star, which is more of the feminine or female co-masonry or Freemasonry. So you have your Eastern Star, and they all worship. My mom's Esther in the Eastern Star. She had a ritual spot on the pentagram.
Your mother was a Mason?
An Eastern Star.
Which is a group of Masons?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have heard that there are...
feminine version.
Yeah, because they're not allowed to be regular Masons, are they?
No.
But they have their
Very
own
unusual.
lodges, do they? And
Yes, with pentagrams on the floor that say "fatal" in the middle of them, and there are 5 women sitting on the
Fatal?
points. Yeah. It means something in Latin, I don't remember what, but I always find it curious that it says fatal inside of that inverted pentagram, you know.
not fetal.
Yeah, no, fatal, yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to Obama then. So let's assume that, you know, he's not the American president.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do this? Why would they have a man who is not qualified to be American president, who hasn't taken the oath? What does it mean?
They have been pushing for a constitutional convention for many years now. A constitutional convention requires a majority of the states to agree that they're ready to open the Constitution for editing. Once this occurs, they're able to edit whatever they like. People think that they would go in and just edit a certain part, but they are open to editing any portions that they want once this happens.
But they've already taken away all the constitutional rights in America anyway, haven't they, with the Patriot Act?
They have.
And
the
executive orders of George W. Bush.
Yeah, I mean, he calls it a GD piece of paper, right? So, yes, but symbolically they still need to eradicate this because of the people's hearts are following it. And so they really want to destroy us. You know, it's the first art of warfare is to destroy the people's hearts before you destroy them with the bombs. And so what they will do with this is foment war not only between atheists and Christians, Muslims and Zionists, but also between patriots and non-patriots, or those that are standing against this, well, you know, standing up for the Constitution, trying to, because they've got everybody agitated on so many levels. When you look at, people are being thrown in the streets in America. They're all losing their homes and forming tent cities. And the Obamas are throwing $1 million parties in the White House with Jay-Z and Beyonce. He made $600 million on his campaign and sales of book, and is sending DVDs to Gordon Brown.
But when Gordon Brown visited and gave him something made from an anti-slavery ship.
Yes. A truly uniquely historical gift.
But in return, he got copies of Star Wars and
Wizard of Oz, Citizen Kane, the Godfather, which I don't think were even in PAL format. So I don't think even Gordon Brown can watch them over here.
He's probably seen them.
Yeah, and of course the Brown, Mrs. Brown sent over the daughters some lovely necklaces and dresses, and they sent back a plastic model of Marine One from the gift shop at the White House. You know.
What is Marine One?
The helicopter that Bush flew off at the end of the inauguration. It's the president's helicopter.
So it's deliberate, isn't it?
Hey, absolutely. Symbolic gestures.
Why are these gestures? Why are they making these gestures?
Well, I think they want to get Britain mad at America. They're making us look cheap, you know, and they're making us appear... We've been cast into the world as the Satanists. You know, if you look at all of our stars or, you know, whoever's at the top of our list, they're typically pretty bad as far as role models go.
But surely if the powers that be, the Illuminati or whatever, control the UK and control America, why would the British government be mad at America?
Not the government, the people.
Oh, it's for the people.
It's for us. It's for us. 9/11 was for us. It was for our reaction.
And so insulting the British Prime Minister is for us as well.
Right, so that you're now mad at us. It's the same story here with the MPs and their money crisis. I mean, come on, everybody bucks the system. Everybody's, you know, and now they're going to come out and tell you about it. It was the same with when first they had destroyed the man, then the system, then they came out and said all your ministers are pedophiles. You know, they're destroying every reason you have to believe in something. And that's their real goal. That's the goal of the end game, is to first destroy your heart and destroy whatever you have to believe in.
Okay, so what's the next stage? I mean, you've been predicting all these things.
Yes. Well, as we looked into Obama and his recent talk at Cairo, trying to make pleasant with the Muslims, we realized, okay, there was Albert Pike. He wrote a letter to Mazzini, who was the mafia, and also a P2 Mason. And he
this
outlined...
is in Sicily, isn't it?
Yes. He outlined the three world wars in this lecture, in this letter. So he outlined perfectly the First and Second War, exactly how it would go.
And this is in advance of the First and Second War?
Yes. And then he also outlined the third, which hadn't occurred. And now what he said...
Well, you're saying that they had occurred then when he wrote about them?
No. These were in the 1800s when Albert Pike wrote this.
Okay.
And then, so the Third World War was to be fomented first by having the atheists versus the Christians. So what happened at the Obama inauguration was no minister was